Hey everybody, it's Bailey. I'm going to give a short as possible reading of episodes 23 and 24. They were absolutely unlistenable. I lived in a trailer, and it was raining, and so it sounded like it was unpleasant, unlistenable. So I'm not publishing them. I'm just gonna read what happened so we're all caught up and don't miss nothing important. So episode 23, we started off by the crew remembers that Leo has the Stone of Far speech when Leo comes back from disappearing disease, and there's someone in a horrible high elf voice on the other end, and the elf says, "Hello, is there someone on this line?" And Leo says, "Yes, hello." And the elf says, "Hello, oh my goodness, I found this during the fighting. I didn't know who this belongs to. Who are you?" And Leo says, "Don't worry about it. Who are you?" And says, "Oh, my name is Aaron." "And what do you do, Aaron? How are you familiar with this?" "Well, it's a Stone of Far speech." Point taken. "I just found this while running to a barricade." "So you're a rebel? You were fighting against the mages?" "Yes, and I just thought, well, this has to belong to someone, so I hung on to it." "Do you know Ash?" "Ash? Which Ash?" "The Ash, fighting with the Herculeans." "Oh, I heard about them." "But how did you know about the revolution?" "What do you mean? I live here. I live in Stone Garden." "But you had to know it was from someone, surely. You're not just some random person." "You know, I found this. I was holding a hammer and pitchfork, and then the fighting broke out. I just figured how to get this back to it belonged to." And Pale says, "Is the revolution still going? How is everything going?" "It's mostly stopped. There are skirmishes, but it's not looking good for the rebels. Those that are left to hold up." "Are the leaders still alive? The leaders of the rebellion?" I don't know. I've mostly been a scout. I've been outside the city. I help with the rebels when I can, but then if I go in again, I just won't make it back out." I just kind of lean to Leo and give him the sign message, hang up the stone. "Thank you for picking up the stone. If you happen to run into a woman named Catherine Drake, can you please tell her that Salazar Augusto is looking for his father?" "Salazar Augusto? Will she know where to take this?" "Yes, I'm Salazar Augusto. I'm a musician. Catherine knows my father." "Look, I'm just trying to find the right person for this, and I know it sounds fishy, but I'm just trying to find the right person and give it back." I try to take the rock from Leo. "Look, my name is Leo Zarin Amastasia. I'm Gilbert's son. If you want to see Gilbert, leader of the mercenaries who started the revolution, would you give him back the Stone of Far speech? Thanks." Or Ash Barlow. "I'm a cleric of Tyr, and he knows me. Him and I are both friends, enemies, frenemies." "What do you look like? Do you have any—" "Beautiful, tall, black hair, opalescent skin, high cheekbones, and soft, red lips." "We're alone in this room, right?" And I say, "Yeah." And Leo says, "I'm gonna use Mage Hand to whack Pale in the nuts." And we roll. Leo's hand is cut off by Pale's codpiece, and after that they all go to sleep. Pale tries sending on Gilbert, but there's no answer, and Pale tries Ash, who doesn't answer either. Pale and Leo cry themselves to sleep while Carolina checks on Donald Dunham. They go to the king, and he's wearing a leg cast. He looks sick and has an alchemy jug of oxygen. He's drinking coffee and fighting. Henry offers that he heard the news that the revolution is dying. They go to August, who You know the Harry Potter thing with the memory silk? And he puts it in that bowl, and you can see the memory. So August looks at the memory so he can scry on Gilbert and Ash, and they can all see it. This is patented tech, Thunderscram's secret. August is the only one who can do this, just for plot reasons. They see Gilbert in a dungeon, and Ash tortured and chained, and Ash begs Gilbert to kill him, and Gilbert says no. Henry tells him that he's going to war against Golgari, and Henry says that firepower is stronger than fireball. Then Henry tells them that he's going to give them a chance to break into the prison and save them. Dungeon heist. They're going to go to Golgari to announce the war. They have like an Operation Paperclip with every magic user in Thunderscram. Garfield introduces himself to Leo, and he and Leo are BFFs. Oberyn looks at Fel. Fel's talking to Castaneda. They go to fight Garfield in the mech suit, just to show off what it can do. And then Castaneda teleports away with the mech, and August knows that it goes through Sankarel, but he can't tell exactly where. Fel, Oberyn, Garfield, and August accuses them they're spies. Then episode 24, the local nerds try to figure out how to find the mech. It's as though Castaneda has plane shifted because they can't see him anymore. Henry reminds them that he will help them save Gilbert and Ash while they go to Golgari, and they see Fel give the King Henry a rock. They see that it's a Stone of Fire speech, and when Pale asks Fel says it's a wise man on the other end of the road, or the other end of the stone. And Pale asks the king too who the wise man is and where are they. Henry says that Fel thinks this man can help him and is stuck in Sankarel. King Henry tells them to hang out in town till they can trace the teleportation circle back, and they message Castaneda, and he replies, "You don't know what they'll do to me. I did this for my daughters. I just want to go back home." Meet some Vivianites at a bar, and they explain that Fel's a double agent for Sankarel, and there's prophecy that Henry will merge with the Sankarelian Emperor and will become a god. The Emperor is such an evil person that they will prevent Emperor Claudius' ascension by killing Henry. They talk about how Fel has Kara's soul and a ring of mind shielding. When he killed the monk, and who's also a Sankarelian spy, and Vivianite, they plot how to kill Emperor Claudius Fortinbras instead of Henry. Vivianites tell them that Henry is going to go to war and that he will enslave all of Mercadia just like Sankarel has. They compromise with the Vivianites to kill Fel and not King Henry. They hear Fel talking to Henry about Umberley. The gang overhears him saying something about the Heart of the Sea, and Henry explains that Fel knows a way to appease Umberley and reverse the cold lines, but they are still going to go through with the repercussions and hypotheticals. Fel pulls out his pan flute. Pale and Carolina can't convince Fel to go to a second location to murder him. They back Fel into a corner by asking about Kara's ring. Fel lies and says that he killed her because she was going to kill Henry. Fel, last-ditch effort, and tells Henry that he knows how to become a god. Henry says to take Fel to either prison or to the hospital, because he's crazy. And they try to convince Henry to get the Vivianites to kill Fel, but Henry doesn't let them. Henry tells the Vivianites that he's thankful they turned Fel in, but tells them that they will be arrested on sight if they come here again. Henry eventually is worn down by Carolina, and so he lets them have Fel. Henry giggles in hysteria, and his mouth keeps bleeding. He says, "I'm going to go hang out with my wife, and I'll see you fuckers later." And they warn Augie that the god Henry knows, and the bad Vivianites and that Henry might have known about it already. They tell Garfield to give a few episodes, and now you can listen to Campaign 3 without being spoiled, because that was the place where we left off. The next morning, the cliffhanger is that King Henry and Sergeant Greybark and Wade have gone missing. Pell wants to message him, but it's not working. And the cliffhanger to Electric Avenue, Lewis messages, Stephen is still alive, ask bring to Thundersgram, modern medicine needed. And that's where we left off. So, now you're up to speed. Yippee! I'm so glad to be back from hiatus. I'm not gonna say, I've been in a hospital, so, sorry that I couldn't be here, but, we're back in business, baby! Woo!